AITA for sleeping with my best friend's fiance? I know by the title of this story, you're probably thinking, of course you're the asshole, but let me explain. I ended up sleeping with my best friend's fiance at his own bachelor party to get revenge for something she did to me 5 years ago. Now, her life is completely ruined, she's struggling, and my entire family hates me. But before you judge, you need to hear what she and my brother did to me first. You go low, I go lower. My best friend and I met in our middle school years. She was a new student, and let's say I was not the most popular guy. Just for some background information, I am gay, before anyone gets confused about genders. I came out in 7th grade and most people were supportive. However, I did get a few homophobic comments and silly jokes about having crushes on the popular boys. On the first day that my best friend, who we will call Lola, came to my school, she immediately became the center of attention. She was what you would call the perfect girl, long blonde hair, ocean blue eyes, and the boys loved her. Other girls were always jealous of her. Of course, I didn't have these issues. As a gay guy in a school full of straight guys in New Jersey, there were no boys I had even a slight chance with. So there was nothing to become jealous about. We became friends on her very first day and we got close pretty quickly. We were inseparable all the way up until a few months ago when she found out I slept with her fiancé. Growing up, I would make up fantasies and have little crushes on the popular boys. It was my only form of entertainment, really. Lola loved hearing about my little crushes, and I enjoyed telling her. Everything was fine on the outside until I started hearing rumors about myself and the crushes I had. Lola denied spreading these rumors, but it was obviously her. I got severely bullied because of it and felt quite lonely in my younger years, but Lola was always there for me and never left my side. Even knowing she was the reason I was getting bullied, there was no way I could end our friendship. She was all I had. By our senior year of high school, she had a massive reputation for getting around. It wasn't just single high school boys she slept with. She went after people's boyfriends, older guys, men with families. But the worst of all was my own brother. My brother, who we will call Sam. And I never had a good relationship. Sam was a year older than me and the generic football player who spent his weekends at parties. He hated the fact that I was gay and claimed that it damaged his reputation. He made my home life a living hell, always turning my parents against me and bullying me physically and mentally whenever he had the chance. Lola knew about how hard my home life was due to my brother's torture. She always gave me advice and even showed hatred towards him, so I would have never expected her to betray me the way she did. After Lola and Sam slept together, there were rumors around school, but I ignored them because Lola assured me they were not true. I just went on with my life and continued my friendship with Lola until one night. I was at home using our shared family laptop. Sam had been using it just before me and was logged into his accounts. I had no intention of snooping, but I found a file named private. How could I ignore that? Once I clicked onto the file, a password lock came up. I tried a few passcodes, like our family password and his name, but neither worked until I tried his birthday. The file opened. What an idiot, using his birthday as a password for a file full of secrets. There were 3 videos in the file. I clicked on the first video, and to my horror, it was my best friend Lola and my brother Sam together on our kitchen table. I looked at the second video, and it was the two of them doing the same thing in Lola's bedroom. I clicked on the last video, but this one was different. Lola and Sam were sitting on my bed, talking dirt about me. My best friend was talking trash about me to the exact brother who made my life hell. What could be worse? The video continued for about a minute of them saying cruel things until Sam leaned to the side of my bed and grabbed my pride flag, a gift from my parents when I came out. The two of them started spitting on the flag, laughing, which then turned into them getting together a third time. I was horrified and filled with rage. I sort of regret this next part now because it truly ruined both of their lives. But in the moment, I was mad. I emailed the video to everyone in our school, my brother's college, my parents, my principal, Lola's parents, and the corporate email of the construction company where my brother had an internship. The next day at school, everyone was watching it. My parents were disgusted with my brother, and so were Lola's. My brother got kicked out of college and lost his internship. Lola was allowed to come back to school after taking a month off.
AITA for breaking up with my boyfriend because of how he kissed me. Am I the jerk for breaking up with my first ever boyfriend just because of the way he kissed me after my 21st birthday dinner? I spent my entire high school life completely single, watching all my friends date while nobody ever looked at me. So when I finally met N at age 21, I thought I had finally found my match. But after a specific incident in his car, I ended up locked in my bathroom for an hour, feeling completely numb. Here is why I called it off. To give you some background, I'm a 21-year-old female, and I never had a boyfriend in school. No one ever offered or looked at me in that light, which was depressing as heck concerning everyone else in my class and friend group had someone. 2 years after school, I was turning 21 with still zero dating experience. At that point, I was questioning myself and wondering if I needed to change anything, because apparently I wasn't doing something right. Then, at a local festival, I met my ex. He is a 23-year-old male, and let's call him, and we were introduced by a mutual friend who had mentioned him to me before. We talked for an hour, hit it off, and went on our first date soon after. He also had never had any dating experience before, so I felt like we were on equal ground. We kept seeing each other and talked every day. He called me every night when he left on a trip, and he even bought me souvenirs from it. After almost 4 months of dating, I decided to introduce him to my family. My birthday was coming up, and I wanted him to be at the annual dinner we have to celebrate it, which usually includes my entire family, even my grandparents. A week or two before, I invited him to a regular family dinner so he could at least meet my parents and siblings first. It went well. My parents found him nice and respectful, and they approved. Well, my birthday rolls around and he comes to the big dinner. It goes great. My grandparents enjoyed talking to him and we had fun. Later, I walked with him out to his car and we talked. Eventually, he kissed me. This wasn't our first kiss, by the way. I kissed him back and then comes the tongue. I froze a bit. My brain was just completely frazzled as I sheepishly went along with it. Early on in our relationship, I had told him explicitly that I wasn't comfortable with making out yet, let alone doing anything more intimate. I personally want to wait until marriage, and making out can easily lead there. Plus, I had only known him for a few months. When we finished, he apologized and said he got caught up in the moment. I smiled, said it was fine, and went back into the house after he left. I sat in the bathroom for an hour, just staring at the shower wall until my mom knocked and asked why it was taking so long. We live together because it's cheaper, so sue me. When she saw the look on my face, she asked what was wrong and I told her what happened. We hugged and talked, and I asked her to talk to my dad about it because I wanted a male perspective on the situation. That happened on Sunday. Through the week, I talked with multiple people, parents, siblings, and friends, about what happened, and everyone came to the exact same conclusion. I needed to break it off with him. I felt dirty, and honestly, I had been questioning if I truly loved him or not for weeks before that. His future didn't align with what I wanted. When we kissed, there were no butterflies, no fireworks. It was just lips. My brain couldn't understand why my body wasn't responding to what everyone told me would happen when you kiss someone you love. So that Saturday, I called him and broke up with him. I cried and sat and watched a movie with my sister afterward. 9 months later, I'm still single. I'm going on my first overseas trip soon and enjoying life without N. While I am mostly at peace with my decision, there is still a tiny part of me that thinks I was the asshole. What do you think? AITA for walking out after my husband's reaction to our wedding day. First look. Am I the a-hole for starting a massive fight with my new husband because of his emotionless reaction to our wedding day? First look. We opted to do a first look to calm my nerves. But when I tapped him on the shoulder, his first words completely crushed me. Months later, it's still causing huge arguments, and now he's trying to invalidate my feelings entirely. I am a 28-year-old female, and I got married to my husband, who is also 28, a few months ago. On our wedding day, we opted to do a first look instead of waiting for the altar, mostly to calm my nerves. When I walked down and tapped him on the shoulder, the first thing he said to me was, "Why are you crying?" I told him I was just so overwhelmed. I waited a few moments, and I could tell he wasn't going to offer a compliment. Finally, I just straight up asked him if I looked pretty. All he said was a flat, "Yeah." It has bothered me ever since then. At the time, giving him the benefit of the doubt, I thought to myself, Well, he's probably just nervous and overwhelmed too. However, while we were talking the other day, the topic came up. I asked him, "So what did you think when you saw me for the first time on our wedding day?" He looked at me and said, "What do you mean?" I clarified and asked what his very first reaction was. He shrugged and said, "I guess that you looked pretty." That really upset me. I instantly started crying and walked away from him. After I was finally able to gather myself, I sent him a long text message explaining exactly why that hurt me so deeply. I got a message back from him saying he's sorry he can't do and say exactly what I want him to do. He is completely trying to invalidate my feelings and is calling me the a-hole just for being hurt.